Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ifeoma Uche. So for a couple of weeks now, I've not actually uploaded anything on my channel. I apologize for that, but in my defense, I was actually under the weather. But now I'm back with better vibes. I'm feeling more refreshed and I'm back with better vibes. Okay, so let's dive right in. So for a while now, I've been having this internal conflicts, wondering if I should actually record this video or not. Because believe me, I am still super embarrassed about the whole thing, and thinking about it, I think I'm still in a little bit of shock. And if I tell myself the truth, I have a little bit of fear too, like when I think about the whole experience. But I am on a quest for content. So there you have it. Don't judge. So as the title depicts, this is not funny, I should stop laughing. As the title depicts, this is the worst experience of my life. No jokes. I was not only jazzed, yes, I was scammed, and I was left in a whole lot of debt. So in the year 2019, I just started writing my first semester final year exam. And actually, as a matter of fact, I just written my first paper on a Monday, and my next paper was going to be on a Thursday. So I actually had Tuesday and Wednesdays. So, but normally, when my papers fall like this, I like to spend the 3 days in school, you know, trying to read up on the next paper, revise all those finishing touches. So when you get to the exam hall, you feel like a badass. But on this special day, that was on a Tuesday, I didn't want to go to school. I was reluctant. You know, actually, I'm going to paraphrase this proverb. They say, when bad thing wants to happen, you become deaf to reason and warnings. This proverb is so applicable to me. So on this particular Tuesday, I decided not to go to school and chosen to ignore the calls of everyone calling me to come to school and read. You would think that since I decided to ignore the calls of everyone I know and I saved their numbers on my phone, I would ignore the calls to the end. But no, auntie over sabi. I decided it was my right, my full right, to pick the one number I wasn't supposed to pick. I swear. I wish I just ignored that call. Last. I wish I just ignored that call. So I picked up the call, and it was a man at the other end of the line. He sounded friendly, but not too friendly in the way that would creep you out. In fact, that guy's an expert. He had the right tone of voice. He said hello. I said hi. Who is this? And then he replied, who do you think? Who do you think it is? You would expect someone that grew up in Lagos to know this who do you think it is line. But no, not me. Me and my big head. I decided to indulge him by guessing. Guessing. I guessed. Who does that? I actually guessed. Thinking about it again, I feel like I assisted him in scamming me. But I guessed the name. So I guessed the name which his voice sounded like. And he immediately said yes. You guessed right. He immediately claimed the name. He said yes. And to think of it, the person I actually guessed this name was at the time dating one of my close friends. He wasn't someone I would expect to call me in his desperate times. But then again, he's not someone, if he actually summoned the courage to call me and ask for help, I would ignore. So I think that notion actually played a huge part in it all. It definitely did. Bear in mind that immediately he claimed the name, my mind, my brain had just moved to the okay, I will do it zone. Everything he was saying at that moment, I was just going to say okay to it. So his first instruction was not to end the call. He told me specifically, whatever I do, I should not end the call. And his first request was for me to send him 6,000 naira airtime, which I actually did. You know what? All the factors were in his favor, because Network was clear. At that moment, I would have really appreciated it if MTN had just like ended the call or something, but no, network was very clear. It was going smoothly. And you would think that since I was on a call, sending the airtime on that same phone, it wouldn't go, but it actually went. All the factors were supporting his ministry, but I sent the airtime and it actually went, and he received that. The second instruction he then, after the airtime, the second instruction he gave to me was I should send him my most recent account balance, which I obediently did. Then he told me to send everything that was in the accounts, which I actually did. You would think he would stop there, but no, he wasn't going to stop there. He needed to humiliate me and drain me some more. He didn't stop. So then he went further to say, I'm sure you have other accounts with money in them. And as an obedient person, I said yes, I concurred. And he told me to send everything to him and I should make sure I don't tell anybody about it. And as an obedient person, you guessed right, I packed everything and I sent to him. The wickedness in his mind, the audacity he had to tell me that the money was not enough, I should send more. But from where now? Where did he expect me to get the money from? He told me to run around and raise money to send to him. Okay, God will bless that brother where he is. I should run around and send money to him. So now let me explain my hostel to you, the setting. I attended Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, aka Unizik. So yes, I attended Unizik. And my hostel was one of the largest, like, Holy Family Village. It's had this village setting, like, it was really big. When I say village setting, I don't mean a local setting, like, it was a big hostel to like a community that housed over 1,000 students. That big. But in this large hostel, I've tried to live a quiet, calm life, especially in my final year. I barely even spoke to my neighbors. Like, I just like to be on my own. Now, picture this scenario. Me, I was running around, going from door to door, knocking, and begging them to lend me money so I could send to this guy, this person, this brother that I don't even know. I was running around looking for money for him. And you know the worst part? I was running around barefooted, like around my hostel without slippers. Oh. Yes, that actually happened. As overzealous I was, I did not even stop at just the rooms. It was not, I didn't get much. I decided to go to the hostel supermarket and ask them to lend me money. Oh my God, the embarrassment for me. Yeah, I swear, thinking about it again, it's just a nightmare to relive. So the long and short of the whole things, I got some from some people and I didn't get from most people. So I decided to spread my tentacles and call my friend who he was supposedly dating. I called her. She was in school reading that beautiful afternoon, and I told her to lend me money. First of all, I started with 30,000 naira. She sent the first one. Then I called her again. Oh, I didn't tell you this part. He did not still allow me end the call. Oh. I was calling her with a different phone. In fact, he had to hear everything I was saying. I called her again. She sent me another 30,000 naira. I called her again the third time. That was when my girl packed her book first. Oh my God. She told me, okay, she was going to send the money, but I should wait when she gets to the hostel. I've actually forgotten what she told me, but that was what she said. But at that moment, I think he actually knew that she was suspecting something was wrong, because he told me not to call her back again. Then he asked me if I had a laptop. I told him yes. He said I should pick my laptop and pick any other laptop I could find close to me. Then he asked me if I knew where I was going to sell the laptop. I said yes, I could sell it at the school gates. He said I should pick the hurry up, I want to sell it and send the money to him. Oh God, this story is horrible, I swear. So I picked the laptop, picked my roommate's laptop, and I was hurriedly and happily going to sell it with my successfully stolen commodities. I was heading out of the hostel when I ran into my friend. Thank God. Thank God I met her. So she asked me where I was going to. No jokes. So that minute when she asked me, where am I going to? That was when, like, my mind was like a fragment at that moment when all of this was happening. It felt like a broken glass. I was just seeing pictures of it, and the pictures I was seeing made sense. But the minute she asked me that question, where are you going to? The fragment of the mirror came together and became a full mirror. And at that moment, at that very moment, I realized what had been happening to me. I just fell down and started screaming. Like, I was screaming. I did not believe this. I did not believe this was real. I started screaming and screaming. I just kept on screaming on the floor. Then he called back at that moment when I was screaming. My friend picked the call. He heard me screaming in the background, because I remember her putting the call on loudspeaker, and he wasn't like, who is screaming there and everything. Then my friend was like, oh no, that the person just heard the bad news and all. She was trying to know if he was around, if he stayed within Oka or something. I don't even know. Like, at that moment I just felt like, oh my God. I need a moment. So the long and short of the whole thing is, my friend tried to calm me down, but I kept on crying. I could not stop the tears. I was crying. I was shaking. I did not need this level of emotional stress when I was writing my finals. I did not need it one bit. So I needed to call home, but geez, the fear, me calling my parents to tell them this, like, how? I couldn't do that. So I called the next person, my sister, my immediate elder sister. I called her, crying over the phone, telling her what had just happened. Like, I don't believe this just happened to me. I was in debt, and in fact, it's the amount of debt that was even ringing in my head at that moment. People I had borrowed money from around the hostel. The humiliation what kept on ringing in my head. So I called her and told her everything. She tried to calm me down, like, it's not a big deal, we'll settle it, that she calmed down. She was one who in turn called my parents and told them. You know, I was actually expecting my parents to call, yelling at me, screaming and everything, but they surprised me. Like, they were actually very supportive. I think they understood what I was going through. They knew I did not need that shout, and they told me to calm down. I should forget about it. The money wasn't so much. They were going to take care of it. I should just focus on my final exam. But saying calm down and focus is way much easier than actually doing it. What I can say is that for the course of the period I was writing that exam, I had this constant fear of not wanting to be alone, because I felt he was going to call back and ask me to do more ridiculous stuff that I truthfully could not say no to. Like, for every second I was quiet and alone, the thought just crossed my mind, and I just had this fear, this thing run down my spine. It was a very terrible experience. It was scary and terrible. And for a very long while, I did not delete the guy's number from the phone. I just kept on looking at his number. Like, the number was disconnected, it stopped going through, but still, I just had the number on my phone. It was a horrible experience. But I had really supportive family and friends at that moment. No jokes, because if not for them, wallahi, I don't know what I would have done. So, my parents assisted in settling the bills. But they didn't even send money to my account directly. They sent it to a friend's account, because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what was going to happen next. What if I go home and he calls again? So I didn't want to collect money. I made them send to my friend, and I was collecting it from her. Yes, and my hostel, me coming out of my room was when it was mandatory. Like, I had to come out. I avoided going to the supermarkets for months. Like, almost, I finally went there a few weeks to my graduation. That was when I finally summoned the courage to go there. I told myself, probably people that witnessed my escapade running around the hostel begging for money would have forgotten about it. That was when I finally went there. Believe me, it was a horrible experience, but it happened and I learned from it. Vital lesson: do not pick any number you didn't save. Actually, for a long while I didn't pick numbers I didn't save, but then I realized that, especially with the kind of job I do now, I actually have to pick numbers I didn't save. We just have to be cautious and prayerful. Believe me, I'm very prayerful, so you don't fall a victim of this. But it's real, it's out there. This is not Nollywood. This happened to me, actually. So yes, this is where I'm going to end my horrible tale. I feel like I'm rambling for a while now, so I'm just going to stop talking. So yes, if you learned anything or if you've experienced something like this, please share in the comment section. If you just want to laugh in the comment section. And if you liked seeing my face, like hearing me talk, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button down below. I really hope to see you guys in my next video, and hopefully I'll be telling a much better story, like a happy story, in the next video. It was nice sharing this moment with you guys, and I feel so much lighter actually saying it. It feels good, no jokes. So bye for now.